Hello, everybody, and this is the recording of the daily question answers. So I'm going to go through that with you right now. As you know, a lot of times these questions, there's other things to share with you other than just the answers. So hopefully you have a chance to watch this. So number one, the Ring of Fire located around the Pacific Ocean is a very high activity seismic area, which triggers a number of different natural disasters. So in this area, you will find many of the world's volcanoes. Because it is bordered by all of these tectonic plates, you have a lot of earthquakes. Those earthquakes can also trigger a lot of tsunamis. So those are the three main ones that are associated with that. Now, you will get other things such as landslides. The tsunamis obviously trigger floods, but the three main ones were volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunamis. Africa. Almost everyone seems to know Asia has the most people in the world. Africa is the second most populated continent, but many would not be able to name its largest cities. The three largest cities in Africa or the three largest countries, would be Egypt, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. Question number 103. Actually, I'm doubting my question 102, so hold on just a second here. Okay, so question number 103 asked about a driftless area in Wisconsin. The driftless area is the area that was never hit by glaciers. And the glaciers that covered most of Wisconsin, for whatever reason, there's an area which includes a few other states where they did not travel. And because of that, these areas are much hillier. If you've ever been to La Crosse or any of the areas, just beautiful bluffs on the Mississippi River. And part of that is those areas were never scraped flat by the glaciers. But here are all the different counties, and there's a number of them that you could have listed: Lafayette, Iowa, Grant, Crawford, Richland, Sauk, and so on. So any of those were the correct answers for this one. So I'm just going to put many answers all in southwest Wisconsin. Many of you may know that Puerto Rico is part of the United States. That was certainly big news back when the hurricanes wrecked that island. It is considered a commonwealth. It is not one of the states, but its residents are part of the United States. So we gained that island in a war with Spain. Right around the early 1900s, the United States and Spain went to war primarily over Cuba. But during that, the United States did also get Puerto Rico. Also, we got the Philippines at that time as well. Okay. Now, some people for this one had the answer as Paris. The treaty to end the war was signed in Paris, but the war was against Spain. And Paris is not a country. All right. Number 105, a president who someone tried to assassinate, but the president survived. Many people are familiar with Lincoln and Kennedy being assassinated. McKinley and Garfield were also assassinated. Some of you had those answers, and if you did, I did give you half a point. But as far as presidents who survived assassinations, President Jackson, his was famous because the guy who tried to shoot him didn't kill him. Jackson ended up going up with his cane and beating on him with it. So he fought back against his attacker. There's actually lots and lots of presidents that people tried to attack. Teddy Roosevelt, his is interesting. It actually happened in Wisconsin, where someone attempted to shoot him. Franklin Roosevelt, someone tried to kill him actually before he even started his first term. Fortunately for Franklin Roosevelt, he was missed, but he was with the mayor of Chicago who was killed at the time. Okay. Actually, there were a number of other, I didn't realize there were as many assassination attempts. There were even some no one's ever actually gotten a shot off, but people who had planned to assassinate President Trump, President Obama, both of the Bushes and so on. But as far as the ones I was thinking were people where someone actually took a shot. So, although I would accept those other answers. In addition to Franklin Roosevelt, someone tried to shoot Gerald Ford. Someone did shoot Ronald Reagan. And all of those presidents ended up surviving. Okay. Question 106. This is one I bet a lot of people are going to have questions about. It says, name the U.S. state that would be called an archipelago. An archipelago, the idea is you would look up that word and find out that an archipelago is a group of islands. And if you say to yourself, what U.S. state is a group of islands? There really is only one U.S. state that is a group of islands, that is Hawaii. Now, a number of states have archipelagos. So in addition to the state, part of the state might be a group of islands. A lot of you had Alaska, and yes, Alaska has archipelagos, but you would not call Alaska a group of islands. Alaska is mostly a big chunk of land with some islands. So those of you who had Alaska, I gave you half credit, but the state that is a group of islands is Hawaii. We have been learning about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Hinduism is the third most practiced religion in the world. The country where you will find the most of the world's Hindus would be in India. Okay? Now, a few people looked for where Hindu was the majority religion, and in the neighbor of India, in the country of Nepal, is where you'll find the highest percentage of Hindus, so I will accept that answer as well. Question 108. The landlocked country in Europe that stayed neutral was the country of Switzerland. You will still sometimes hear people refer to someone when they want to stay out of a dispute, they'll say, I'm Switzerland. Because Switzerland stayed out of World War I and out of World War II. That's interesting because other countries tried to stay neutral. Switzerland's neutrality was generally accepted because nobody really wanted to travel through it. For example, Belgium and the Netherlands tried to declare neutrality, but Germany needed to go through them to get to France. So Germany did not respect their neutrality. Switzerland, because it's so mountainous, nobody really needed to travel through that area. Of the 5 Great Lakes, all of them border Canada except Lake Michigan. That one is the only one that does not. And again, capital cities in South America, the answers to this will vary because there are a number of different countries in South America. You needed to find one and pick its capital. Okay, so there are your answers to the DQ test.